Hey people, Indrid here, February 3, Bend Unlock, blue team. Dice Roll is an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat. By default begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Alongside, Katla with a Plague Champion starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility, and support can also repair. Iron Warriors elite scheme. And rounding off the blue is oLev, the Force Commander, very strong offense fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt, and support. Salamander's elite scheme here. Red team, some Imperial Guard. We have Piluco with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support fighting in melee, begins with a Refractor Shield. Alongside is Mike with an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. Tussling with the Plague Champion there. And rounding off the teams, Alexandro is a Lictor Alpha, melee specialist, can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. They are on the southeastern corner here, fighting a Force Commander. Scouts grabbing the wreck point, attacks out of cover, but they're not super threatened by a single Termagant brood. Hormagaunts going around, took a bunch of damage doing it though. There's the battle cry, here come more Hormagaunts. Scouts leave, drop to model. Those Hormagaunts are getting really low, but attacks are out too, so they should be okay. Now they basically need to deal with this Force Commander, or maybe just avoid him and cap some stuff. Meanwhile, in the mid, Inquisitor's falling over. Apothecary gets a decent special. We have Inspire Courage buff on those guardsmen there. Stomp comes in, immediately used, and it was a decent hit on the CSM. Plague Champion goes down first engagement. A bunch of tacks take the garrison. Scouts in there too. Double Sentinels and Guardsmen all shooting at him. Oh, it was CSM in there, not Scouts. And they're forced off. Can they get onto the power? There's some Hormagaunts and Termagant support in the mid. Lord Commissar gets level 2 already because they revived the Inquisitor there. And indeed they are on the power. Lictor Alpha being sneaky and menacing. Did not bother grabbing the... Oh, these Hormagaunts are going to grab this contested power point southeast corner. Grabbing those central points too. Wreck point so close to this VP here. Sentinel took a bunch of damage. Needs to be very careful. There's some repairs coming in now. Lictor Alpha runs interference. Sentinel needs to move, I think. Grenade barrage from some heretics. Sentinel gets stuck. Crack and bolts, and down it goes. Needs to get that guy out of there. As soon as those tacks showed up, needs to get it out of there. Double tacks here for oLev. Crack and bolts doing 20% more damage to heavy infantry, which is what the Sentinel uses. It's got heavy infantry armor cladding on it. Decent Hammer of the Witches on the Force Commander just before he was about to smack those guardsmen. Inquisitor maybe gets away. Yes, does get away. Look at all that health regen from the Apothecary. That is value right there. Plague Champion with the Mucus Discharge in. And there's that Breath of Nurgle, topping up all that stuff, including the Plague Champion himself, of course. Assault Squad up for Dice Roll. Jump troops that disrupt when they land. Great way to start a fight is to jump on things. And straight through the mid to the natural power of the red team are all these tacks here. Supported by that Apothecary, of course. And now that Plague Champion heal. 431 to 500 on the VPs. Red team hitting back hard, got a Ravener brood up. And here's the Assault Squad though. Get the Lictor Alpha out of there, he's got his Toxin Miasma. Damage over time and a debuff on hit. Hormagaunts getting torn up, but they do get away, I think. Improvised explosive from the Catechins, and then they wipe out those tacks with... Was that their grenade launcher shot? They're all reliable, just exploded them. That was kind of rough. Those were one of oLev's Tactical Marine squads. Dice Roll now has devs. Where are they though? They might try and get into the garrison. Force Commander running interference. That's the CSM running off. The other tacks in retreat now. They're trying to hold the mid. Devastators will help, that's for sure. Messing up the Lord Commissar. Inquisitor tries to get in for Hammer of the Witches and gets it. Targets the model with the heavy bolter, gets them out of there. And red team swarm the mid and take it back. It's a nasty combo, isn't it? Double Imperial Guard with some Tyranids thrown in. Good grenade. Termagants have survived it. They do have their toxin sacks. Katla rebuilding, has lost their heretics. Got CSM into Havocs now, but their power's being bashed. Eternal War CSM for Katla. Purification Vials for dice roll. Very useful against those double Hormagaunts. Might be able to catch some guardsmen as well, bunched up. Did they bash anything? Looks like they bashed a node. It's been rebuilt there. Yeah, because it was a plus 17. 391 to 500 on the VPs. Multi-laser turrets going up in the mid. And some cover objects in front of them. We got Sanguine Chainsword Apothecary. There's the Assault Squad jump. Lord Commissar there's to counter-initiate. Does not have the power sword, this guy. There's that Purification Vials throw. Bunch of stuff runs off, but there's still a bunch of las guns in play. Apothecary goes down. Had to get close to chuck that grenade, I guess. Devastator's doing their thing. Catechins can throw up their smoke grenade. There it is, a defensive smoke grenade. Gives you suppression immunity, but it doesn't clear suppression that you already have, I think. Also gives you some damage reduction. I think it's is it 50% damage resist from that grenade? I think it's pretty good. There's a Basilisk Flare fired by the Lord Commissar to mess up the range of that heavy bolt. You can see it's a tiny firing arc now. CSM have got around the side of these guardsmen though, and they're being messed up, having to retreat. But now the turret is turned against them. This one can't quite reach over there. Sentinel goes for a stomp, gets two of them with it. Heavy fist fighting in the mid. Looks like oLev and Alexandro have gone back to the south and east to have their tussles. On the power here is Alexandro. Only one gen up. Force Corner's level 2. No war gear. Maybe we'll see some Thunderham action. Oh, maybe not. One of the Hormagaunts has been wiped. There's the tier 2 for Alexandro. oLev's already there, as are Mike and Piluco. Katla's just gone too. Looks like dice roll's going to be the last in tier 1. They did buy quite a lot of stuff. Fully kitted their Apothecary, didn't they? Oh, they didn't get an armor for the Apothecary. But they got Apothecary war gear, a Flamer, Assault Squad, Devastators. Spent quite a chunk of power. 347 to 500. Manticore Strike. Couple of decent hits in there. Made them move, if nothing else. We see Dice Roll coming back to this north and west side, getting close to this VP. Onto the power as well. They do have that Flamer, of course. Assault Squad get in there to initiate. They're on Catechins, which could be dangerous. Catechins have power weapons, so they can mess up an Assault Squad if they're left 1v1. Assault Squad get the heal. They took a bunch of damage there. We have the Inferno Pistol in play for the Inquisitor in tier 2. Powerful weapon against all targets from close range. Also gives you the awesome Judgment, which is up on those Tactical Marines now. They are fleeing, so they should be okay. But if they were to stick around, or if the Inquisitor can find them again in time, they can be judged and really messed up. Ravena Brood level 2. Being used to tie up the Havocs. Force Commander giving chase. Now being shot at by the Inquisitor. Hammer of the Witches on the Plague Champion. It goes down. Look at this blob of stuff there. Just asking. I was going to say asking to be Purification Vial, but here comes a Noxious Cloud from Katla. Look at the damage. Global ability of the Plague Champion, and it can be so freaking nasty. Look at the death. Look at the death. That is value right there. Those guys are going to wipe. Yeah. That was huge amounts of death. 329 to 477. Got some Stern Guard veterans for oLev. First Company Marines that can change their ammo to combat all targets. They got Hellfire loaded in there. Good versus light infantry and heroes, which is most of Alexandro's army. Not all of it, because they have a Tyrant Guard now. This guy's super heavy infantry, so you want to use Plasma and Melter against it, and power weapons and that kind of thing. If you can. I mean, anti-vehicle weapons will work, because it's a large target. But in terms of efficient DPS, you want Plasma and power weapons and Melter. Assault Squad getting their Sergeant, but they don't really want to fight a Tyrant Guard, so they jump over it. Catechins are there. Decent Merciless Strike. They get Judgment up on them too. Inquisitor's doing some good work here. Almost got those guys down. If it wasn't all that disruption on the Catechans, almost finished them. They do finish them. Assault squad down. That's a big win for the red team. 305274. Tyrant Guard meanwhile taking a bunch of damage. Stern Guard have their vengeance rounds loaded in, and it looks like the 4D Emperor buff is on them as well from the Force Commander. So they were doing a lot of damage to that Tyrant Guard. It charged out, gets away. Not sure what they're up to now. Switching to Hellfire again, most likely, yep. Doing some damage over time against all this light infantry here. Those acid rounds are really painful. Getting suppressed, and now Judgment is up. Where is the Inquisitor? She's quite far away. I guess you can judge from quite far away, eh? There's that Breath of Nurgle heal again. Anything else for the Plague Champion? Yes, Armor of Pestilence is up. Icon of Nurgle would have been really effective here as well. Kind of a shame we're not seeing it. Lictor Alpha gets the Fleshrick in. Has the deadly jump in play. Almost level 3. Can he kill that guy? Not quite. Oh, he does go down. And red team hold the mid with a 2-1 cap, 270 to 474. Decent VP lead as well. What's going on over it? Catechans of Piluco on the prowl. Making the scouts back off. A single scout over there. Tier 3 for Piluco. Tier 3 for oLev as well. They're in there. Hotshot Lasgun Stormtroopers with assault kit. A massive burst of damage they can deliver. There's Plasma Guardsmen in there too, ripping through the Marines. Here comes the Apothecary. Throws out the vial. Gets those guys to leave if nothing else. Do they have their Commissar? They do have their Commissar, so they could break that retreat, but there's nothing to reinforce them in the mid, so maybe they won't. Got some Spore Mines in play for Alexandro. So do they have a Capillary Tower somewhere? They must have one. I don't know where it is though. 239 to 474. Almost 150 VPs between them. 250, I should say. Plague Champion now has the Plague Fist. So he's going to be very, very good at capping now with the Pestilent Strike. Katla also has some Plague Marines up. The Glory of Nurgle. Might want to get some Marco Zinc CSM to shoot up this Tyrant Guard. But it might be seen as a little bit of overkill against Imperial Guard if they don't have their Ogrins up. There's the Pestilent Strike. Doesn't help you against melee though, and in fact they've just increased the damage resistance of that Tyrant Guard against these missiles and stuff. Yeah, it was not a great time to use it there by Katla. 208 to 474. Sentinels level 2 has that missile launcher. Meanwhile, southeast, Lictor Alpha gets level 3, chasing off some scouts. Yeah, it's model specific, I think. You can see that green effect. Kills him. Meanwhile, towards the northwest, Librarian in play for dice roll. Vials are out. Can they take out that Apothecary? So close. Down he goes. Down he goes. 189, 474. Massive VP lead now for red team. And they've got their tier 3s rolling. Oh, we got a Force Commander Terminator on the field for oLev. I don't think he had any war gear. Now has a heavy flamer, was bashing power. Got 2 gens down, I think. With the help of Dice Roll's Tactical Marines, perhaps. Grenade. Beautifully done. Kills a Marine. Well played by Piluco there. Look at this blob of Nurgle now. A little bit of Nurgle worship in there, and a Breath of Nurgle went in. Grenade barrage into a Noxious Cloud. They've spotted it earlier, I think, and they're getting the hell out of there after what happened last time. Some Terminators now for oLev. Not Assault Terminators, though. Instantly used their teleport. What are they up to? Well, they're shooting some Termagants. Helping out their Stern Guard veteran buddies. And they are all persuaded to skitter off. Can they get through? Oh, the power's already bashed down here. I think they should just rotate mid. It looks like that's what the Terminators are doing. 188 to 474. Plague Marines are pretty low. There's a Breath of Nurgle to help them out though. And Plague Champion gets the Lord Commissar out of there with some pestilence, Plague Fist hits, I should say. Lord Commissar did go down. Lictor Alpha was trying to revive an Inquisitor there. Oh, they're all down now. One of them needs to repurchase, maybe the Inquisitor to revive the others. Terminators on the field for dice roll with Veil of Time on them, so they zip around a bit faster. And blue team have the mid. There's the 2-1. Can they hold now? Pestilence Strike used to try and get this wreck point. Devastator's arriving with Tactical Marines in the mid. There's that Terminator Force Commander. Gonna roast some guardsmen here. 27 DPS is huge for a flamer. Huge amount of DPS. If we compare that to this flamer with 8.75. Pretty big difference. It's a big old flamer. I think it has a larger area of effect as well than a standard Tactical Marine flamer. Nice usage of Gate of Infinity there, because that was a sail from the Excruciators into a Manticore strike, and the Gate of Infinity was able to get them out of there. Inquisitor can be really bad news for Terminators. She can mess with their movement and then follow that up with a Manticore strike. Another Manticore on the way for Mike. Piluco with a Stormlord on the way, which was nerfed, I believe. This is 2982 that we're on here, which has been superseded by 2983. Parana formation from Alexandro does have a Carnifex up. There it is. No mark. No upgrade yet, I should say. I'd love to see a mark of Nurgle Carnifex. Try killing that thing. 2-1 for Boo. They're holding the mid. Current Guard may have got too close to a bunch of Power Fists here. Plague Marine shot going in. Down it goes. Tyrant Guard is down. Manticore Strike, though, set up with a sail again on the Terminators. oLev does not have Librarian support. Could not get him out of there. They took a bunch of damage from that Manticore Strike. Carnifex with a Venom Cannon. Advanced healing coming in, trying to save those Terminators. Looks like they saved those two. Big heals per second from advanced healing. Level 5 Apothecary, so the heal is nice and strong too. What is this? Just some scouts doing their scout things. And they get shot at by some Tyranids. Back to the mid. Manticore Strike again. Can they push through and take out those Manticores? They've got a tank up. They might be able to rotate around and get a flank. Missile Launcher Sentinel doing some work. Supported now by Katla Smoke Grenade, as you saw. Carnifex front and center. Trading shots with the tank. Chaos Predator here for Katla. They've got some Chaos Terminators too. No upgrade for those guys yet. Force Squadron's going after the Carnifex in melee. Does have that 85 DPS Power Fist, of course. Manticore might be able to do huge amounts of work here. There's the Basilisk Flare from the Lord Commissar to mess up the range of that stuff. Force Squadron gets stomped, and there's the Stormlord with that nasty Mega Vulcan Mega Bolter, I think it's called. Look at that thing. Inferno DPS. I think they lowered the range a bit. Or was it the DPS? It was like 100 DPS, I think. It's mental. I think they lowered the range. I forget though. Plague Champion. Aura of Decay knocks back the Lictor Alpha. Did a Pestilence Strike as well. And runs off. No Land Raider Redeemer yet. Predator tank. Taking hits from that Sentinel. There's the advanced healing, but there's a rocket run. Imperial Guard nuke. Got some decent hits. Hormagaunts getting stuck in there. There's a sail on the Terminators. Manticore comes in, but they get Gate of Infinitied out. It was still assailed on the other end, though. I like that. The Stormlord is scary. Scary, scary thing. Librarian face tanking a bunch of stuff. Down goes the Inquisitor. Truck and Bolt. Stone Guard taking her out, I think. Got some Kashyyykin in there. They have their rapid firing plasma guns. What is this buff on his guardsman here? Is that... Oh, I think it was just Inspire Courage. But the Stormlord also allows you to reinforce, right? It's got like this... They remove a bunch of the capacitors in the pack because it doesn't need a massive plasma cannon type thing. And it opens up a bunch of space as the lore, I think. You can get inside of it. Don't think you can reinforce off it though. But I could be wrong. 188 to 293. Perhaps we shall see. I mean, all of this stuff is full models, so maybe you can. They're also being healed by Aura of Discipline as Fist of Brockus as well from the Lord Commissar. Bunch of Manticore strikes going in as Terminators very low, just got gated out. Red team getting back on the mid. Kashakin can cap fast and decap fast. Terminators with the Assault Cannon ripping through them quite quickly, suppressing stuff. Stormlord can't quite get the... there we go. There's the Mega Bolter. Having to teleport out. There's not loyal to the end. There's None Shall Fall. And gets the revive on the Inquisitor. 185274. I don't see any moves for the natural VPs quite yet. It's the meat grinder in the mid right now. Mike with a Lehman Russ on the way. We've got two Carnifexes now, both with Venom Cannons. Doing some bioplasma stuff as well. Stormlord has been used quite defensively so far. Has not pushed it up. I don't think it's even hit midway. Which is why it's been successful. Got some Nurgle Shrine Worship going on. Backing off because of the Manticore Strike that was coming in. Lictor Alpha being a pain in the arse. Should be dealt with though. Might even go down here. Yep, goes down. Did not think that little push through super well. Alexandro's down to just Carnifexes now. Which might have been by choice. They might have just killed off the Termagants and stuff. But here comes a Zone Throat. Helps support the Carnifexes with the Symbiosis heal. Veil of Time on the Terminators. Going for the VP, are they? They're gonna get messed up by that. Yeah, you see those guardsmen reinforcing. They are reinforcing off the Stormlord. And now we have a repair bunker to support those triple Manticores back there. And an orbital, look at this. I completely forgot that the Stormlord can reinforce stuff. That's pretty crazy. You can't retreat back to it like a Land Raider Redeemer. But yeah, hell of a thing. It doesn't give you any health regen either, I don't think. 3,000 hit points. And also get rear armor hitted. Rear armor hit, unlike a Land Raider. Neiman Russ got super low. Predator was chasing it. Predator goes down. Tyranno formation in the mid. Black Plague Champions on the VP though. 112 to 274. Chaos Terminators getting absolutely shredded by that Mega Bolter on the Stormlord. .106 to 274. Terminator's teleporting away. Oh, Whirlwind in the mid now. That should be good. They haven't really tried to push on the Stormlord. It's always been a bit too far away to get onto with a bunch of stuff kind of thing. One of the Carnifexes went down. Zone Thrope is still up and it does have the Symbiosis. Here comes another bunker. Another repair, I suppose, to help out this Lehman Russ over here, which is a Vanquisher. Time to hit the VP, I think, fellas. Looks like that's the idea. Here comes Dice Roll. Got to try and hit that natural VP. Are those hitting? Some of them are hitting. Marines say go away, Mr. Carnifex. They're on the VP. Catachan's gonna knock him off with a shotgun blast, maybe. Maybe. There's none shall fall. Just got gated out. They did not get a decap though. 106 to 231. Maybe they mistimed it. They tried to gate him out just after the decap happened, but it came a bit early. Whereas there's a bit of an animation on it. Lictor Alpha goes after the Librarian. Messes him up, so the force barrier comes in late. He's tough though. Over 1200 hit points level 3 the Librarian. Some Hormagons out late game by Alexandro. Maybe they were part of a without number spawn or something. What's going on in the mid? Mayhem. Tis mayhem. A decapped VP. Where's the Inquisitor? She's in there. Still has those excruciators as well. That is huge amounts of damage, holy crap. Yeah, I don't know this. Oh. I was gonna say, I don't think the Storm Lord's been touched, but down goes a Manticore. Now it's being touched. That's cannon's right there. It is indeed another repair bunker, I believe. Which is pretty handy. Plague Champion is level 8, up close to 1500 hit points. Not bad, eh? Can the Terminators get this cap? With Plague Champion support, maybe they can. Well, one of them falls pretty quickly though. Need that Pestilent Strike. There it is. There's the Pestilent Strike protection. And Advanced Healing's in there too. A sail on them. Is that a Manticore Strike coming in then? Bioplasma thrown in. 106 to 185. I did not see a Manticore Strike. Another bunker dropping in, is that? Not sure what that was dropping in. The bunker seems wrecked. Blue team got it. Triple cap for the blue team now. Our red team being too defensive in the mid. Are they camped here a little bit too hard? Assault Terminators now coming in. Rear armor of the Lehman Russ with those heavy melee Thunderhammers. Down goes the Carnifex. Red team starting to collapse. Oh. They have conceded, I believe. The red team, yeah, they were losing too much too fast. Alexandro was down to nothing. Had Terminators in their backlines with Thunderhammers. And they were up against it. Good effort though. Just need to do a little bit more mobile, protecting their VP and stuff, and maybe sending some stormtroopers up here to harass. Maybe. Level 8 Apothecary for dice roll, had a level 9 Plague Champion at the end. oLev was the Force Commander, of course, with the Terminator armor. Level 9 Lord Commissar, level 6 Inquisitor, and a level 4 Lictor Alpha. They managed the Inquisitor well, getting stuff out of the Excruciators using the Librarian. Although, I don't think oLev ever got one. But there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.